Hi, I'm Wilson. I'm the new patient coordinator at Chiropractic, and I'm here today to talk about my experience with distance running and my recommendations for starting a running routine. So as of this month, I ran my first half marathon, and I did not stop for the entire 13.1 miles, which feels incredible to be able to say. But with distance running, it is definitely a daunting sport to start, and I am here to say that it does get better. So my first experience running there was about 10 years in between being forced to run a gym class versus choosing to run on my own volition. And my first attempt 2 years ago was a disaster, and it was humiliating. At the time, I was in college, and I was seated in either a couch or a desk for 12 hours a day. So my first attempt running, I went way too fast and I winded myself in 4 minutes and I stopped immediately. So with that in mind, I definitely have some recommendations as far as making your first attempt at running more approachable. 1, begin at a pace that feels like it is barely faster than walking. So figuring out where your kind of cruise control speed is, where you can keep on going without too much additional effort, takes some practice to figure out where that is for you. And in all likelihood, it is slower than what you think it is. And running at a faster speed is really meant for at least several minutes of a warm-up, so definitely start slow. And 2, run for time and not distance, and go in between running and walking sooner than when you are fully wiped out. So training resources typically call this interval training, when you're going in between running and walking and then going back to running again. And the reason for doing this is that it increases the amount of time that you are in a endurance mode. And so accustoming your body to running for longer amounts of time, it's easier when you are training in this method. And if you do hit a wall and are completely wiped out, go ahead and keep your arms above your head and continue walking, but do not stop walking until your heart rate is back down to a manageable level. 3, listen to the types of pain that your body is signaling to you. Typically, there's 2 different kinds of pain that will come up with running because you will get aches and pains. The first is typically a tolerable or a work-throughable kind of pain, and then the second is more of a concerning type. So if it does feel at least tolerable to you, seeing what it feels like to continue running on it for 10 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, just to see if your body will eventually let up on that pain, because sometimes it will. So for me, I know that between miles, typically 2.5 to 4, my left foot goes numb, but it's something that I continued running through and it does let up. And now I'm used to it and it doesn't worry me when that happens. But if something does feel incredibly sharp or something that feels like it is not a tolerable pain, go ahead and stop, ice it, and elevate it. I'm the kind of person that I like to do a ton of research just to see what resources are out there as far as gear to get with starting a new sport. And I am definitely here to say that you do not need to optimize to start running. A quick Google search will turn up millions of hits as far as gels, socks, shoes, jerseys that will help improve your running performance, and you do not need that to start. I'm a really big proponent of using the shoes and clothing that you already have to start running, especially for your first run. But if you decide that running after that first run is at least 10% enjoyable and you do want to continue running, I do have some recommendations as far as what potentially you might be looking for as far as to continue running. Question 1, what do you need to carry on your person? So are you going to be needing your phone on you, headphones, keys to get back into your door? So with those kinds of things that you want to keep on your person, there's a couple different options. You can go for a fanny pack style backpack, or a traditional running backpack, or even clothing with pockets in it. So typically on my shorter runs, I'm using tight leggings that have pockets along the sides of them because I don't really like the sensation of my phone and my keys jangling in loose like basketball style shorts. And do you want to carry water on your person? Water is heavy, and carrying a water bottle in your hand while you're running will negatively affect your gait. So with our bodies, we have what's called bilateral symmetry, which means typically our left side is identical to our right side, and any kind of weight imbalance will asymmetrically engage our muscles. So you want to definitely have it as centered on your body as possible. So most water carrying devices hold the water supply either around your waist like a fanny pack, or behind you like a backpack, or in front of you kind of like a security vest. Up until I was running 5 miles in one go, I was using more of a fanny pack style pouch, and then I transitioned to a backpack water bladder once I needed access to more water. My posture is such that I have to be mindful not to bring my shoulders and head forward, so I prefer water devices that distribute the weight behind me to offset that. And most importantly, I do want to talk about how chiropractic care is influential in my running routine. Dr. Tiffany and I have developed a chiropractic routine where I get adjusted 3 days a week. I get adjusted the day before my longest run of the week to make sure that my body is fully ready to weather hours of repetitive impacts, either out on the street or on uneven trails. And then my post-run adjustment is to make sure that any subluxations that I incurred along the way are removed. For my body, running typically causes subluxations in my lower back as well as in my hips, and to make sure that those are taken away, it makes sure that I do not incur any degeneration down the road or any downstream effects like knee pain. The second reason why I get chiropractic care in conjunction with my running is to make sure that I have good posture, and running does get easier with good posture. So chiropractic care improves what's called proprioception, which is our ability to sense where our body is in space. So when my proprioception is working fully like it should be, I'm able to sense when I need to be bringing my shoulders back because my posture isn't as good as it could be, and also making sure that my core is engaged just as much as it should be while I'm running. It makes sure that I get less back pain while I'm running, and it also makes sure that I'm less likely to get injured. Alrighty, so those are my running tips. Start slow, run for time and not distance, listen to what your body is signaling to you, don't fall for the gimmicks, and most importantly, include chiropractic care in your training.